Hi, it is September 20th, 2018, and we're looking at the S&P 500 chart here. This is a stripped down version of the roadmap chart that I always post. This is a new version of it that I introduced yesterday afternoon while I was sitting around bored to death waiting for the S&P 500 to try and get out from under 2910. I was kind of looking at this pattern that's forming here and realizing that we've got a pretty nicely shaped V-shaped sort of inverse head and shoulders pattern forming. And I drew your typical breakout line on it, going from the bottom of the left shoulder here on through the neckline and letting it extend on out. And I realized that really all we needed to do was get a little bit higher than where we were at yesterday, basically taking out our previous all-time high, and boom, we would have, a nice breakout on this inverse head and shoulders. And to get a good measurement of how far we could possibly be going from here, we just measure from the old all-time high of 2916 down to the September high that we've sold off to since making that all-time high to 2864. And if we put a box around that area and just duplicate it and put it on over to the side here, we can see that, once we would take out the old all-time high, we could possibly move up and double up that move all the way to 2969. 2968.88 to be exact. So this is just giving us some extra targets in case we need them. We already have a very viable set of targets that have been on the roadmap for a long time that we're working through right now. As of this morning, when we gapped up open over the old all-time high and followed through and rallied on up to a high of 29, almost 29.35 today, that comes almost to our first measured move target up here, plus 5% on the August low, or on the August close, I can't remember. Anyway, it's 29.36, so we almost made it there today. If we're going to travel a little further, we've got one at 29.43, and then finally one at 29.49, and we have the top of the rising channel that kind of runs through these targets as well. So this 29.69 is just going to be icing on the cake. If we have a little bit of a move higher, and we're kind of shooting into the sky here and wondering where in the world is this train going to stop, maybe we're going to get it all the way up here to 29.69. And that, again, would be a double of the move from the September low back to taking out the all-time high, 29.1650. Doubling that move takes us to 29.69. But here's where it gets interesting as well. If we were to double that move down from this new high up at 29.69 and doubling the move on down, that would be about a 5% correction. And so one could, extrapolate from this. What if we do rally all the way to 29.69 and we hit a sell point and we get a nice little correction going and we sell off a full 5%? That would take us down here to 28.12. What's nice about that is that it would fill in this gap that's been left open since August 15th close, the August 15th close, and it would back test and hold by about 10 points that August 15th low. That August 15th low was where we started the leg that took us up to this brand new all-time high at the end of August. From August 15th to August 29th, we went from 28.02 to 29.1650. So that could be kind of interesting, right? Get up here to 29.69, pull back 5%, and then boom, we load up the truck and we have an end of the year performance chase fourth quarter rally that we like to see happen in the fourth quarter every year. So anyway, this was just the video explaining that chart that I introduced yesterday. And as you can see, we're already kind of like starting into the fulfillment of this pattern. But like I said, let's just take one thing at a time. 29.49 is really what we're shooting for first. And if we get over that, then maybe another 20 points. Now listen, if we get over 29.69, I'll come back at you again, probably with something, about the 80 handle rule, because then going to 29.80 and maybe even going to 3,000 before this train ends and we correct back, maybe that's going to be the end of this story. But first things first, just wanted to get this video out to you further explaining this chart that I just introduced yesterday. That's the end of that. Have a good rest of your evening. Good luck and good trading.